Commission on October the 21st at 6:03 p.m. If everybody will join me in a pledge of allegiance.
Flag of the States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Commissioner Vasquez. Moving on to roll call.
Commission Chair Jesus Cervantes.
Present.
Commission Vice Chair Olegario Zazueta. Commission Secretary and Historian Francisco Vasquez.
Present.
Commission Member Juan Duran. Commission Member Joanna Esro.
Present.
And Commission Member Victor Calderon.
Present.
Commission Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Massa. Moving on, call to the public. This is a time for the public to comment. Members of the Parks and Recreation Commission may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda, limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision later. Do we have any members of the public present? We do not. As a note, we also have our public email where individuals may send items to be discussed for the call to the public section. As of 4:30, the deadline, there were none sent in, so we do not have any call to the public items. Moving on, old business, recreation update.
Good evening, Commission Chair, members. This is Madison Parks and Recreation Director. Just want to mention a few highlights of the blade. The new pump motor for the pools has arrived, scheduled to be installed by Monday, and we should get going with the filtration, so get it back in order. We started with the process for the community center. It was repainted, the office restroom area by youth built by Pet Tech, and their coordinator, Jesse Lopez, has been very, very helpful to our department with several restorations like the cultural center, remodeling, now the office area, which needed a lot of help. If anybody was there as of late, it needed a lot of work. And now it looks like basically a new facility, and the little paint job does a lot of change, does magic at times. And just to inform the commission that this Friday, the IFB, call for bids basically for the landscaping services. Improvement District closes this Friday on our webpage. It's posted. It closes at 3 p.m. We're still looking for more bidders right now to help us take care of our improvement districts, which are advancing. We've made some progress. We've been able to adjust the schedule of parks to be able to facilitate the coverage of more of the areas that need more work or prioritize depending on the need. We also started a process for contractual seasonal workers that can help us with the cleanup of these areas in need of to improve the level of service basically. And we're not trying to go away from any of the areas. They're all important, but we're going to concentrate on the ones that need to improve the level of service a bit more and go from there. Just want to announce also that this month it's going to be our first month with our internal EREP program, Employee Recognition Appreciation Program. It's going to be something unique to the Parks and Rec Department here in Somerton. We're going to be working with each division, making sure that we promote the nomination in this process, try to advocate for, just include everybody. It's going to be one person for the whole department. There's going to be some incentives there, and of course a nice award recognition of the community and something that we're trying to push. So right now we're basically concentrating on the projects for the landscaping. The Joe Munoz also is underway. an irrigation project. We extended a irrigation line to center field at Joe Munoz Ball Field. So we're working basically on the projects, concentrating on the landscaping, the maintenance, and improving the level of service. And on the recreation side, I'm going to allow our recreation coordinator to elaborate a little bit more on on item number 2 in the agenda.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Commission. Gustavo Magru, Recreational Coordinator.
Just to move jump into item number 2 in the agenda, which is the majority of month.
At this time, we're still under rec update. As far as any comments on those items, I think we should recognize those organizations and groups that have assisted with upkeep and maintenance of some of these sites. I know it's been a long time coming. Some of these facilities unfortunately fell into disarray due to lack of maintenance or even upkeep. So I think these organizations should be really recognized, and they're also giving back to the community. So it's a win-win for everyone, the community at large, and them as well, as they are able to provide that service back to us. So I think at some point we should recognize them as well and highlight them.
Yeah, just want to point out that they also helped us with the pond at Joe Munoz, the cleanup, the revitalization process of Joe Munoz is going to start. It started already with the cleanup for the pond. It's a partial cleanup, but we're going to keep working at it, and also the project for the Joe Munoz restoration project. The court was approved yesterday in the council meeting, so we're going to move forward with that next week. So it's going to start shaping up that area pretty good.
If you can let know the youth groups the bill, because I was looking at them from I was having breakfast when they actually arrived. They arrived very early at the Joe Munoz. And actually, when they arrived, the plants were like 6 feet tall, really, really. And I noticed that I thought it was actually people from the city, because they were dressed, wearing shirts, the same color, everything. So very easy to identify.
Yeah.
And they were actually, by noon, they were done with the total. They changed the view of it.
Yeah.
They did an awesome job. So, I will go along with our chairperson that we need to recognize them. Definitely, they have done a good job. I mean, now my son wants to go and fish at the pond again, because, and then the water now actually flowing again and oxygen, and so now it looks very, very nice, and it's not smelly anymore. It's impressive how little work actually leads to happiness. A lot of people have very positive comments heard about how nice it looks now.
Yeah, and I'll make sure to forward some pictures of the community center project. We did as of late. If anybody has a chance, feel free to contact me, and I can show you the facility so you can see the change in person. It really, it's a really drastic change.
And the only other comment, and this may be more for a different division, maybe community development, but I know we were discussing the landscape improvement districts in the city. I know that I recently in the mail got the invite for the public forum or public input meetings for I forgot what the name is. It's basically the different specialty districts, I guess you could say, like Pioneer, Entertainment, and I forgot what the other two were. Is that going to impact any of the, I guess, proposed improvement district items moving forward? Like, is special attention going to be focused on those areas as we move forward? Because I think the main driver for that is to create a consistent item for beautification of those districts to lure in investment and opportunities into those areas.
Community development, they're working with zoning and some projects in hand with the economic development, just to kind of expand upon the opportunity zones and try to work for the best interests of the city, but that's not going to affect our maintenance and our projects for the future. In regards, it's going to help can help just fill out those areas that need more commercial activity, and that's going to help our budget, I'm pretty sure, bringing more businesses into Somerton.
Okay.
I do want, I do have an update for recreational. Let me just introduce myself as well. I'm Jerry Cabrera, the new city manager for the city of Somerton. Actually, I lived all my life pretty much here in Somerton for, actually, wow, 40 years or so. So born in Yuma, obviously, but raised here in Somerton. So I know the community well. I know some of the commissioners. I know that at least I was here when I was swimming at Gallagher Pool. You know, it cost us 10 cents to go to the pool. Now, how much are you charging, Jesus? $2. Okay. Just the inflation, I guess. We actually didn't have any money to go to the pool, but on our way to the pool, we usually found a couple of dimes here and there, and that's how we got in. But you know, no one got refused. So you know, so I understand that whole idea. But in terms of any updates for high school update, I know that Jesus has mentioned this. We're still working on that development. Now that the high school is going to have all the facilities in their area, it definitely helps the city of Somerton. Council is still working on the open space for that area of how it's going to be used. Nothing definite has been at least confirmed. And we understand the level of service with Parks and Rec and how short we are with staff. So, you know, that's definitely going to be one of the key drivers for any facility usage between the high school and the city of Somerton to make sure that the level of service that we continue giving to our normal areas for 35 acres, we have to give that to whatever facility usage we're going to end up with the high school. So that's important for us to know and for you to be aware of that type of level of service that will continue. For our next council meeting, you know, more than welcome to be invited. We're going to have a work study session, and on that session, we're going to have a couple of capital projects, which includes the HVACs for the community center. So that's, you know, one of the things that's important for council as well, to make sure that that gets put on there. I know there's a discussion with the February 22nd retreat that was mentioned of a skate park, so that's also going to be discussed. So hopefully that gets completed and this year. Hopefully basketball court will be done obviously soon. So we'll be working on that as well. And Joe Munoz working on that project to put new sprinklers on there, obviously, make sure that that park is used well. And so that's at least some of the updates that's been going on with the city as well. So I'm sure Jesus has mentioned those too. So any questions?
Yeah, it's awesome to hear that a lot of these items are moving forward. I know the air conditioning conversation has been going on even before I was on board. I think it was even a conversation when Commissioner Vasquez was on city council, so it's been that long. The other portion too, it's awesome to hear that I guess resource consideration is now on the table as far as the new open spaces coming with the high school district. Because a lot of the concerns that were brought up to us by various citizens was, is it going to impact the level of service at our current parks? Is more focused going to be given to that area because it's newer? And is my flagship park of Joe Munoz or Council Park going to fall into disarray again? The answer has always been no. All parks will be essentially treated equally based on resources. No one area is special. And from what updates have been provided to us, it sounds like that is hopefully the step moving forward overall.
Yes, definitely. It is very. It's actually good to hear that hopefully this council does move forward with some of these projects, and so that'll be our next Thursday, November 5th meeting. It was scheduled for the 3rd, but because of election day, they're actually going to have elections here in Chambers, and we had moved it to the 2nd, which was Monday, but then we realized that this room has to be secured a day before, so That's not gonna happen, so we moved it then to the 5th. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to mention that next month, the first, council meeting in November, there's gonna be a work session involved for the, HVAC project for the Commision. Department's gonna meet with city council and talk about this project and discuss the options. And also for the skate park, towards the south of town, in which I will recommend, Joe Munoz Park as a recommended site. It has all the amenities, gonna have partial lighting from the ball field, has good parking, and it's gonna be part of the revitalization of the entire park. And it's gonna add more structure and more amenities to it. Hopefully have more activity there, so there's gonna be more participation, increase the community pride, and hopefully, of course, the monitoring is gonna be there. And I'm looking into the possibility of having fencing around the basketball court, so there's some control and, of course, the supervision and enforcement is gonna be a priority too.
What time is the
The work session,
work session?
that's after the council meeting.
Before the council meeting at 6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's 6.
6, yes.
Okay.
Is that? To attend to the.
Yeah, it's a work study session. It's public notice.
That's all the updates right now. I just wanted to provide just a, it's a lot of updates, but it's a lot going on right now. Thankfully, we have a lot of projects and they're moving forward, as the Commission Chair, Cervantes mentioned.
All right. Are there any questions or comments from any of the other commission members before we move on?
No.
Any final thoughts, Commissioner Israel?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to new business. Item number 1 is a presentation of the Somerton Parks and Recreation Commission Yard of the Month Award. And I know this award has been in the making for about, I believe, 3 months now. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19 and other items that came up, we weren't able to recognize this individual. But this individual does have the honor of being the first person to receive it. As part of that, they'll also be receiving a certificate for, I believe it's $25 that is awarded to them, and a paper certificate as well, and a sign that they can display on their property for the duration of the month that recognizes it is a Yard of the Month. The individual in question, I believe, is Miss Maria Guzman, and her property is at 420 West Burn Street. So congratulations to Ms. Guzman. Somebody will be making contact with you to present the award items and to also deliver the signage. The signage will be probably displayed on your property for a month. That should be around the November 22nd, 23rd range. And like I mentioned, congratulations and thank you for being the first. And I'm not sure if Commissioner Vasquez wants to.
I wonder if she was notified. Did we notify her? Because I was expecting the city actually let her know. She was actually at home before I left. So I was hoping that she was going to be here. But I didn't say anything because I was in the release that someone the city contacted.
We did not contact Ms. Guzman. We can follow up and make sure we deliver that sign. Good time.
Can you please let me know what can be going so I can be with you?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to item number 2, update on Parks and Recreation Department, tentative recreation schedule and possible activities moving forward. Mr. Gustavo Magru.
Good afternoon, Commission. Recreational Coordinator Gustavo Magru. First of all, I wanted to introduce our new addition to our rec team, Mr. Joshua Segura. He is our new recreation specialist. He comes with a very strong recreational background, and we're excited to have him on board. Just welcoming Mr. Joshua Segura to our team. I don't know if you want to give any words, introduce yourself.
Hello, Commission. As Gustavo stated, I do come from a long background of recreation and sports activities. I'm really thankful for the opportunity the City of Somerton has given me, and I'm looking forward to, hopefully getting back to recreational activities and sports, when it's safe for everybody. So thanks again for the opportunity, and nice to be with you all.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We up here on the screen we have this is our new tentative reopening schedule. This schedule is a projected yearly schedule moving forward. What is the beginning of the year with winter activities. We did break it down with projected start promotional dates. That means the date that we'll begin our marketing, putting up our banners, our signs, releasing our registration date on Facebook. So we just went ahead and myself and Joshua, we sat down and we put this, it's one of the schedules that we've been working with year after year. I've seen it work, so I kind of want to push that same schedule, just kind of give it another structure, which bringing in more marketing and using all our sources that we have, which is our website, our Facebook page, and entries of Somerton Avenue and Main Street. And also target PTO meetings and target all our Somerton School District schools. And also as we go, we'll go ahead and find out ways of bringing this promotion up to the public. One of the reasons for this schedule is because we want to have a guide for us so we can balance out our work and we make sure that we are completing our goals and giving the public enough time to go ahead and register and allow them, if there needs to be an extension, we know where we're at on our dates and we allow them more time and work with the public. It's just, it's pretty much what we've been using past years. I know it works, so I kind of want to focus on what's been working, just try to give it more promotion. And hopefully we get a better turnout rate, a better response from the public. And our leagues just become stronger and time goes on, we just, continue getting better with our leagues. We just kind of want to present this to you guys, just let you guys know that in case we do get the okay to start, we're ready, we have a plan, and, we're up for the challenge and ready to go when it's time to go. Any questions?
I have a question for you. I don't see what's going on with the Somerton Tower Cap. Are you?
Well, this is recreational. Yeah, recreational.
So it's not as,
The tower company basically independent, and the city co-sponsors in the sense that we allow the tower league to use our fields. But right now we haven't received any requests or anything like that. So right now it's basically on hold.
We're open to any suggestions, any ideas. This is not only what we're gonna do. We want to use this as, we know that it works, so we want to just push it. And as we go, me and Joshua will work together and we'll be like, hey, you know what, we have time. Let's scoot this in there. Bring a different idea, like we purchased table tennis, ping pong tables. We can do a tournament, add it to the list of activities. But this is just something to present to you guys to let you guys know that we're ready for when we do get the green light. We're gonna keep pushing the normal activities, normal recreational activities, but we're open to anything. We want to push. We want to think outside the box and have something different for Somerton. I grew up here. These programs worked when I was here. Town was smaller when I played, and there should be no problem with, as long as we market it and we just promote it as much as we can. We will get a good turnout or response. Also, we do have as Joshua came in last week, we put together, talking about different activities, a catfish derby. they just restocked our council pond.
Mhm.
So Joshua enjoys fishing, so we just went ahead and elaborated on that, and we want to go ahead. We pretty much just broke it down. I'll go ahead and forward that stuff to you guys, and just so you guys can look, kind of we broke down what we need, our procedure, what tasks are going to go down that day, and just prices and everything's broken down on there. I'll go ahead and show it to you guys. I do have it on my desk. I forgot to bring it up, but I mean, we do have activities. We're thinking about it. We did present it to our director, and we're hoping to soon put it on our administrator's desk to see if we can get approval right now that the weather is nice.
I mentioned that right now, we haven't received any direction by council yet, because the numbers are not there. Some cities have reopened partially, like Yuma, they started doing some activities, but the mayor and the council are holding their stance on, we're not gonna do what other cities are doing, we're gonna do what we think is best. Go by CDC numbers, the local stats by the county and the state, that they put on the database every day on the update. And of course, we're anxious to go back to activities and programming, but we're also conscious of the situation, and we want to make sure that when we are ready to go, we have a plan in place and we have our program ready to start the process and adjust along the way, because we never know when we're going to be able to go back to programming. So have some options, plan B, plan C, and what we're going to start doing is some virtual programming, and we're working with a contractual person right now through the cultural center, in which Gustavo and Joshua have taken the lead and programming some virtual activities, and that's also something that they're going to be concentrating. So do what we can from distance, but keep the people active and make sure there's a presence there from our department and a good presence for the community. Because, I mean, Parks and Rec can be a lot of things, and right now it's virtual, but it's a presence and it's just positive vibes for the community. So that's what's coming up also on that end. And we have some good plans, and hopefully when we get approval to work with this contractual individual, and that's going to assist with promoting cultural activities like art and sculptures or anything like that related to art and culture. We can do a lot of things. For example, the events that have been mentioned by the commission, to work together and get something done, like in art and wine, dinner, things like that. We have it on our list, and they're very important to us.
Thank you, Jesus, for elaborating on that. Also, he brought up the virtual activities. We are trying to put together, now that we've added him to the team, a fitness challenge. We had brought it up before, but now that I have somebody by my side, that's gonna assist me with that, I feel more comfortable moving forward. So hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we do complete that challenge, and we have something to present to you guys for the next meeting, or hopefully it's already out there. We're trying to target the youth with that challenge, fitness challenge. Also virtually, that will be virtually.
Yeah, and it looks like everything's moving in a positive way forward. Going back to one of the comments you made, I think you hit the nail on the head as far as marketing. That's always been a big item as far as a discussion point for many years, is marketing our programs to the masses. I know marketing really improved when Mr. Mesa came on board, because prior to that, marketing was more or less very shaky, and from our point of view, that kind of added to the low numbers as far as our leads or program participation. So I think coming in with different points of view now to build that marketing portion, I think will help our programs a lot, because now we'll be able to show the community what's available. Because we still run across individuals who, even pre-COVID, I should say pre-COVID, who didn't even know we had program XYZ. It's like, oh, you guys have that? Like, yeah. And it's like, well, we didn't know. And that's why we take our children to either City of Yuma for their Parks and Rec programs, or all the way to San Luis Obispo. It's like, well, we offer the same program, if not better, here in Somerton. So there's no need for you to leave the city. But it goes back to that, they didn't have that knowledge of it here in Somerton. So I think that's where the marketing will come into play. The more you get it out there, and our programs will end up succeeding overall, especially if you start adding new ones. I know art has always been a big item as well. For many reasons, we want Somerton to really shine as far as what it can offer, not only just the community, but the region. Because I think I've mentioned in the past, even jokingly, is as of now, Somerton is just known for tamales and corn, being the big festivals. We want it to be known for something more now, whether it be the art side of the house, or even if we happen to, I don't know, mold and create a major league player for whatever sport. So bring a different type of reason for Somerton to be known. So I think that's been our motive to get a lot of this stuff off the ground. In your presentation, it sounds like we're off to a good start. I'm sure Commissioner Vasquez has additional input.
No, I mean, I'm glad that you guys are getting prepared for the possible reopening all activities. No, that's great. I've noticed that's even more than half a year ahead of the plan, so I totally agree with you guys are heading in the right direction. And yes, we need to promote the image of the city.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, activities that we have available. And that we are together, this commission, we need that. Yeah.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. I mean, myself and Joshua, I know, he's brought that A game, since day one. So I know we're on the same page. I know we have support from our director. I feel really comfortable moving forward, and the talent is here. All we gotta do is we gotta bring it back. So I'm a strong believer of that, and we just need to target them some way or another, catch their eye, if it's on Facebook, while these kids are on Facebook, it's gonna work. We just need to push it. As long as we stay on top of it, we're gonna be fine.
Even a ping pong tournament.
Yeah, anything. Something that we never had, hockey. We bought some hockey pucks and we bought some hockey sticks. So we can, we're just thinking outside the box for these kids.
I want to mention that recreation has also initiating this process of revamping the image of the department. Gustavo was the one that brought in the ideas for the remodeling of the community center. I had some different colors in mind, but he put in his 5 cents, and I thought about it and said, well, he has a better idea. And the final results were good, and I was really happy with the image now. And he's complimented the process of the logos and all of that. And it's only so much two people can do for a town of almost 20,000 people. And normally, I mean, we would need at least, the reasonable would be for us to have at least 5 or 6 staff members in the recreation division for a town of this size, which is a bigger town now. It's not what it used to be 10, 20 years ago. So, but they're looking for means and ways to find help and utilize the resources. Right now, our city manager approved us moving forward with a contractual individual. They're in the process of their background check and all of that as protocol. If they're clear, we're going to start doing some virtual activities in relation to the culture center and art. And just want to mention that they're going to be supervising the culture center, so they're basically going to be in charge of it. They can't do it all, and I don't want to expect or demand unreasonable expectations. So I told them, let's partner up and make sure we get help and find ways to do things for Somerton and show more action and see more movement there on the parks, see more activities, and that's what the people want to see, and I think they deserve. And slowly but surely, they're going to start seeing more activity at the parks. We're going to target the parks across town, not just City Hall or not just the council park, typical. Go to the other parks, the retentions, and start doing some activities over there. do some outreach basically. That's what they have in mind, and that's coming from them. So I'm gonna try to support them in all I can, and make sure we are on the same page as the commission. We could do some activities together, and so they can see us that we're working together is more than just meeting. We're trying to do things for them and be there. Like, for example, tomorrow we have a team building activity at Joe Munoz Park. The whole team, including myself, are going to be there, help out the parks, doing some labor, some parks project, and do a little minor team building activity that doesn't involve too much. It's going to involve social distancing. We can't do kickball, we can't do the usual that we were doing, but we're going to do something. And I'm hoping it's going to help our team building process. We're still building and adding pieces, and some people leave, and it's part of the evolution and changes. Just wanted to mention.
Yeah, I guess I have one other comment or maybe a question is having to do with our park closures. Are they still in effect as far as?
They're still in effect, and I've gotten some concerns from residents and just colleagues that they've seen people using the parks. Gustavo and Josh are monitoring the parks now in the evenings. So we adjusted the schedule a little bit to be able to monitor and just try to educate, advise, and provide the information, inform the public basically. And if not, that's when enforcement is going to kick in.
Yeah, last Friday, isn't it? There were like 20 cars on the.
Yeah, they practice. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's one a little bit more hard to keep up with because they were at Council Park and then they moved over to the middle school, so it's kind of a little conflict because it's school grounds and I know we're in between there, but it's kind of hard to push it there, But I do try to make a presence, make some rounds and let them know that I'm still here, that just we can only go so far with it. Like you said, enforcement will come with the PD, and they've been really good about it. So.
That's a good example that Commissioner Vasquez brought, because I do live across from the middle school, and yes, I did see all those cars there, hordes of people just there. So that made me bring up that question of enforcement. To my understanding, it's a city ordinance, so I think in the past we brought it up to have that discussion with the school district to make sure that they are following city ordinance, because it defeats the purpose of us being the city enforcing it in our public parks, but yet people can do whatever on school grounds. Because if I'm John Q. Public and I'm being told, no, you can't use Joe Munoz, no, you can't use Council Park, and then I see people at the ball field at SMS or at Desert Sonora, then I'm like, what makes them special? How come they're not being told, no, you can't hang out at the park? And we've seen it I've seen it personally because I ride my bike from time to time around town. The people at the ballparks at SMS. There's that work group or fitness camp that's at Desert Sonora School as well. So it's like.
So I kind of, you understand where, when it comes to enforcement, where I'm at with that.
Yeah, so it's like, I think that hard discussion needs to be had with the school district officials that you need to do more to either put signage up to get that point across, and take more a proactive approach. Not to say that they're not, but maybe kind of take it up a notch. The ballparks at SMS, I've noticed that either the lock is left open or people break it off. Yeah. I've also seen where they jump the little fence that surrounds the auxiliary soccer field to get into the ballparks. But once again, like you touched on, it's not city property, so it's enforcement is really hard because it's owned by the school district. But I just wanted to throw that out there, that individuals still are trying to find those weak points to get around the ordinance. Like I said, it's no fault to our city staff, of course, but it's just a point that I wanted to make because I'm pretty sure some of our citizens have come to that realization as well, that what makes those individuals special. They're enjoying the outdoors, but I can't.
Our superintendent is school superintendent is right now open door policy, so I think this is the time because the school board is also in pretty much following the steps of the city council in matters of the reopening, and we're basically the same. It's a reflection of what, I see the two entities, the school district and the city council actually, the school district and the city council, you know, basing their numbers, making the decision. So, when I drove, I was coming actually back from the park, and it was already like around daytime. And the lights were not actually on, but there were lots of cars by there. So what's going on? So intentionally, I actually stopped, okay, and I told my wife, I want to see what's going on. And yes, they were right there. It was a large group of people. Okay. And the lights were not on. Okay. So they were just staying in the dark. But it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't. So if we can approach our school superintendent, you know what? We need to have basically. If you approach her that way, then we need her help. I think she's gonna be supporting you 100%.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and
It's
put
for the
that.
safety of everyone. Because if we have parents that are actually with the COVID, then definitely we're gonna have students with COVID. And some of the students are actually going to our school in person. Okay, and that's what we're afraid of. That we don't want to stop kids from going to school because if there is a case and there's a protocol that we need to follow and all that. It's for the good of now for the good of the community.
Exactly. Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
the good interest of everyone.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and reach out to superintendent of the school district, and I do appreciate that.
I see the council like one of the teachers per school that we went through this election process or whatever, and they have been elected to be a kind of a side rep for the superintendent council. And this is my second year that I work with her, and I know she's very approachable, very, very approachable.
That's great. Thank you.
Aside from that, thank you for your.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, moving on to current events update and recommendations for agenda items for the next meeting by Commission Chairman, Commission members, and/or Parks and Recreation staff and Director. So we'll go ahead and start off with our Commission members on the phone. Commissioner Edgerl?
No, nothing at this time.
Commissioner Calderon?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Commissioner Vasquez?
I wanted to say that the end of the month actually have it ready for next month, but I don't know if it's gonna take that long. If someone actually decides to go through it, how can we make this more available to the public? So next, I would like to see next month somebody else to be recognized. So otherwise, it's gonna take like 3 months until we recognize the next yard. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of I want this to continue. Once it's established, and that's why it's important that you guys promote your activities and everything, so we can go hand in hand together into what we want to accomplish, which is for the better of the community. Specifically, I don't have any. So that was just a little. And the other one that is more the question that are we gonna have a Christmas light parade? This right now we should.
It hasn't been confirmed. We're just,
I know that
event that we
you
have
might
is
have.
the tree lighting
Mhm,
towards the end of November.
mhm.
And there's going to be the holiday lights project that's going to involve all the businesses here in Main Street.
Mhm.
The city's going to assist with that, providing lights, and for the businesses that require help with the setup, they're going to have help there with labor. It's basically a holiday lights project, and the intent is to have them up by the end of November, so they're up the whole month of December. That's what's confirmed. The purchases were already involved, some of the expenses were already made, and that's what we have right now.
So it'll be more than a traditional
Yeah,
lighting right here.
yeah, it's the Christmas story that's going to involve a holiday story involving the businesses for the book There's some part of the stories in each businesses, and they go around town trying to fulfill the whole activity. That's schedule for the holidays.
For myself, probably our quarterly financial update. It's a quick rundown of our financials, and I think that's all I have as far as a recommended item for the agenda. Then, Mr. Mesa, any recommended agenda items?
It's okay with council, with the commission, maybe invite you, Bill, for recognition to the award, and so we can invite their coordinator, Jesse Lopez. We're gonna be very excited about it. Really gonna appreciate it.
Definitely. I mean, I saw them personally working. I didn't make contact with them, but since I live across the street right there, and I like the way that they were very well organized. And the group was probably 10 or 12 of them, I'm not sure how many were, but they were actually traveling and studying and all that stuff. And I told my son, look, see, this is what is called community involvement. And this is something that we should support. We should support. And why not actually now that they help the city, so why not recognize them?
Yeah, they take care of all the labor. It doesn't cost the city a penny, and they just need basically their tools, equipment, and whatever we can give them. They're not demanding any special equipment or anything like that. And their supervisor, Manuel Campa, he's very good, and he likes what he does, all those projects, construction, and anything involving hands-on projects. He's very good about it. And so tomorrow, I just want to put it out there. If anybody wants to stop by, I know everybody's busy, but if you have a chance to stop by Joe and Mill, we're going to be there from 8 to around noon. By and say hi to the staff. Pretty sure the parks guys are going to be happy to see some of you there if possible. And so it's tomorrow. It's a team building activity.
Yeah, we did for half an hour because I will start teaching at 9.
Yeah. You have a chance to stop by and say hi. I know everybody's running busy schedules.
The agenda items from staff?
Not at the moment.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for attending today's meeting. I now adjourn the Parks and Rec Commission meeting at 6:50 p.m. Thank you.